Hi everyone, this video is divided into the following sections. First, the introduction, then subdivided living, why we decided to live in a subdivided flat before apartment hunting, and why we decided to leave. What we were looking for, self-explanatory, apartment hunting, tips on apartment hunting, and a house tour. For introduction, for around 8 months, my boyfriend and I lived in a 2-bedroom subdivided flat. We wanted to experience what it was like to live in a subdivided flat since I read about it all the time on the news, and it was cheap. And we thought we could do it, but it's just as bad as they say it is. I'm going to have some tips for house hunting in Hong Kong at the end, so stick around. Subdivided living. It wasn't the worst because it met the legal requirements of the government. There were 2 sinks, one for the kitchen and one for the toilet, so that you have 2 separate sinks for food prep and toilet business. It was also at least 80 square feet, which is the government requirement. The interior was new. We were the first tenants, so every scratch on the wall and dent on the floor was made by us. It felt pretty clean when we moved in. It was still convenient. It's around 5 minutes away from Mong Kok East and around 5 minutes away from Prince Edward and around 8 minutes away from Mong Kok. It took 20 minutes to walk to work. It was also divided in a way so that there were 2 bedrooms. We had the slightly bigger room as the bedroom, but there was really no space for anything but a double bed. We used the smaller room as my boyfriend's gaming room. We need to play video games in separate rooms because we both use speakers and it gets loud. When we are on the Discord call with our friends, there is an annoying mic feedback. I stayed in the living room. It was cheap, 12,000 Hong Kong dollars or 1,529 US dollars per month, but they charged us an extra 500 Hong Kong dollars for utility bills or 63 US dollars, which they said they would check our meter and deduct it, but they never did it. Now, the problems: 1, there is no stable internet. The landlord or company rather said we could use Ethernet, but the network providers rejected installing fiber because the building was too old, 60 years old. The landlord installed a 5G router far from our unit. I said it didn't reach my house and they just didn't care. We ended up paying for our own 5G, but it was really unstable and we couldn't play online games the whole time we lived there. 2, there's no trash management system. There's an old lady who comes on weekdays and she takes whatever trash she can carry and brings it to the public trash disposal. But that meant there was trash next to the house constantly because she could never carry that much. 3, the elevator doesn't work 50% of the time. It's kind of fine since we live on the 6th floor, but it's just annoying. We also got stuck in there for 30 minutes the last time we took that elevator. 4, this is more of an emotional reason. We don't want a company to be our landlords. They have no relationship with us. They don't care about any of the tenants. When we moved out, their minion refused to meet us because it was past his working hours. What we are looking for: we want a place with optical fibers so that we can play online games with stable internet. Newer buildings under 20 years old definitely have fiber installed. Second, we wanted a place for under 20,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,549 US dollars, which is 27% of our household income. We looked for places outside of our budget because you can usually negotiate 10% lower than asking price. Third, we wanted a place in Yao Chim Mong in Kowloon. We both work in Kowloon, me in Ho Man Tin and my boyfriend in Lai Chi Kok. Fourth, I want a 24-hour gym with a 10-minute walking distance. I go to the gym every day. I also like to go around midnight. Fifth, we want at least 1 bedroom. We want our desks in separate rooms for privacy and alone time. Calling our friends is also hard if there's microphone feedback. Sixth, it should be 300 to 400 square feet. We have a double bed, so the bedroom has to be big enough. Apartment hunting. Before I tell you about my experience, can you guess which apartment we picked in the end? On day 1, we visited 5 apartments in Seaside Sonata in Sham Shui Po. The asking price for the first place is 21,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,676 US dollars. It's a 2-bedroom. The house is on the high floor. It's pet friendly. We at the time considered getting cats. It is well maintained. One of the rooms is a walk-in closet. The toilet has a window, but the toilet is kind of old. The bedroom is big. You put your desk in there? For the second place, it cost 17,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,166 US dollars. The layout is exactly the same as the first place, but it is on the lower floor and it is quite dilapidated. I asked the agent why the difference is so big, and he said the previous tenants did not keep the place clean. For the third place, it costs 22,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,804 US dollars. It is on the high floor. It is also a 2-bedroom, but the layout is different. The second room seems longer. We met the owner, who is a nice young Chinese guy in his early 30s. I found the place funny because it screams man cave. There are rackets mounted on the wall and dumbbells on the floor. For the fourth place, it cost 21,500 and 27,040 US dollars. It is a huge place with 2 bedrooms. It is well maintained. The living room has this cool V-shaped corner. It also has an open kitchen, which we like. It feels inviting. For the fifth place, it costs 21,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,676 US dollars. It is similar to the fourth place, but the kitchen is closed. It is owned by an old man.
Okay, so all the stove will be the Target stove, and then here is washing machine and fridge.
We checked out the clubhouse. There's a karaoke room, from what I remember.
Wow, it's so nice.
Oh, there's someone there.
So the problems with Seaside Sonata is that the gym is a long 15-minute, winding, not straightforward walk. There are also a lot of drunk people in this area. One drunk guy already tried to talk to me while I was alone before I met with the agent and my boyfriend. On the second day, we went to a different station, Changshawan. The area is awesome because the buildings were built on gyms.
Dude, there's a 24/7.
It's 12,000 feet on the second floor. 12,000 feet. You know how big that is?
Wow.
That's a warehouse. That's the biggest
It
warehouse.
looks like it's in like a really nice building. And then it's a new building, so it's a new gym.
And there won't be anybody there going to a private building to gym. Very, very, very unlikely.
Nah, people who live here might join the gym there, but it's fine. This
Wow.
area feels
Look at
safer
it.
too.
Look at it. You see the
Whoa.
on top?
I can watch people while I
You see
run.
the people running?
Yeah, they're all actually on the
Wow.
Stairmaster. Dude, I want to live here.
First, we looked at Echo House. The asking price was 18,500 Hong Kong dollars or 2,358 US dollars. It's a brand new building that no one has ever lived in before. We almost put a mortgage down for a $4 million 1-bedroom apartment. Luckily, we didn't. The flats are awfully small. The bedrooms can't even fit a double bed. I hated it.
This is nice. Unused balcony. Bring the brush. I forgot. I like the glass door for the toilet though.
Second, we checked out the Harmony, which is 19,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,421 US dollars. It is a 2-bedroom house. It is modern, but the house is quite filthy. That is a turn-off for me. Hair all over the floor, muck in the shower. I can't believe the landlord let their potential tenants see an apartment that isn't ready. I feel like it could reflect their attitude.
The first thing you lose your
Third, we went to The Ascent, which is also 19,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,421 US dollars. It is a big 2-bedroom. The landlady was very nice and the place is huge. Johnny and I felt that it looked too homey and was a place we could raise kids in, which we actually didn't like. We also want something that's more hip and modern. On day 3, we checked out my favorite place, Mongkok. We only looked at 1-bedroom places in Mongkok because 2-bedroom is usually 28,000 Hong Kong dollars or 3,568 US dollars, which we can't afford. First, we went to McPherson Place. It is a 1-bedroom on the high floor. The asking price is 22,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,802 US dollars. It has a beautiful view and an L-shaped window. It was still under repair at the time. The second house we viewed was Sky Park. Sky Park has a special place in my heart because it is the first place I have ever rented. It's 22,000 Hong Kong dollars as well, or 2,802 US dollars for a 1-bedroom. It has a weird rotation design where you can rotate from the living room to the bedroom to the toilet to the living room again. Although Sky Park was built in 2016, this house felt lived in. The fridge is also small.
The fridge is here, bro.
Oh,
It's like that.
it's a small one.
Yeah. So cool. You don't fear dying here.
I never do.
The third house we looked at is McPherson Place. We went back to check it out. It is also 22,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,802 US dollars. It is on the lower floor. It is the same layout, but the window is smaller because it is in the middle of the building, not the edge. The house is owned by an old man, and he kept the original design. Can you guess which apartment we picked? Can you guess how much we are paying? Comment your answers below before I reveal. I will give you 20 seconds, or you can pause the video if you need more time. And I feel like I'm teaching a class right now. We picked McPherson Place. So the market price, as I said earlier, is 22,000 Hong Kong dollars or 2,804 US dollars. And another couple apparently offered 21,000 Hong Kong dollars, and she said no. We offered lower, 28,500 Hong Kong dollars, and she said to make it to 19,500 Hong Kong dollars. And the agent said this has never happened before. A landlord has never negotiated for lower than the tenant. The agent said she likes us because we interacted with her, and the other prospective tenants didn't. I think she also guessed. I remember she guessed that I was the same age as her son. I was a little bit older, like a year older. So she had mercy on me. Okay, so this is a side thing. Gen X and Boomer homeowners may find my budget unreasonable, but this is the reality. Based on the U.S. Census Bureau's 2022 American Community Survey, ACS, in 2022, 58.6% of Gen Z renters aged 18 to 25 spent more than 30% of their income on rent, indicating a high rent burden. According to Aceable Agent, Gen X generally encountered a housing market with more affordable prices relative to income compared to Gen Z, who face near record high prices. I can make a whole video about this, but I'm moving on to the tips. Now I'm going to share tips for apartment hunting. 1. Use the 28HSE website or app to look for apartments. You can set the location, number of rooms, price range, and building age. The app is pretty up to date. Every house I have ever viewed could be found on 28HSE. You can also use it for buying a house too. 2. The agency fee is 50% of the monthly rent. The other 50% is paid by the landlord. There's also a small stamp duty or something that you have to pay for. If you want to avoid the agency fee, you can go on Facebook to find a place, but the options are limited. 3. If you are very much interested in one location, ask multiple agents to show you their flats. It is free. Each agent has their own set of flats they are showing, and the quality of every flat is very different, even in new buildings. 4. If you are an expat, many agents cannot speak English confidently in Kowloon. Landlords are also worried that expats might run away in the middle of a contract. So if you have a good income and a stable job, show your proof of income. It is easier to secure a place if you are a teacher, for example. 5. You can typically bring the rent down by 10%, but ask for lower than your budget because the agent will negotiate for a bit higher. 6. Some agents withhold information to close a deal. Don't trust them and do your own research on the place. They will rush you to sign the contract by saying it's the only house left or many people are looking at a place. Don't fall for it. 7. Hire movers, and I'll talk about them more in the next video. House tour. My next video will be about moving from my subdivided unit to my new house, and I'll give the prices of hiring movers and a house tour. You get this little sliver for now. Which apartment would you have chosen? Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I'm sick, by the way, this whole video, so I'm sorry if it's not that good.